I'm joined in the studio by Ciarán Healy. Ciarán, good morning to you. Thanks for coming in to us.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Fine, thanks.
Good stuff. We're going to be speaking to Pat Egan in a moment as well. He's going to be on line 2 with us. But for the moment, Ciarán, you are involved in the Hope Foundation. Is that right?
Yeah,
you're raising money. What's the story? You're out in Rockwell at the moment.
Yeah, I'm out in Rockwell, and I'm looking. I have to raise money for the Hope Foundation so that I'm allowed to go to volunteering in India next February. Okay.
Volunteering in India next February. How do you find that? What do you think about that?
I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
Right.
It's supposed to be an experience anyway. But
it certainly is, yeah, and an experience not to be forgotten as well, and an experience to be learned from. So, have you done much research into it yet? Or?
A bit, yeah.
A bit.
See, I'm trying to raise money at the moment.
That's your key focus at the moment. Yeah. Because for the Hope Foundation, you've to raise a certain amount of money before I suppose you qualify to go. Yeah. So what are you up to?
I'm just over 1,000 at the moment.
Right,
so,
very good.
I have to raise about 2,500, and then on top of that, I have to raise privately my own funds to go over. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but at the moment, I just have the amount going to Hope.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah.
Right.
I'm doing that publicly.
And the rest then is to get you over there. Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So what would you be doing once you're over there?
So we'll be going to visit all 60 different. Hope have 60 projects going on at the moment in Kolkata, and we'll be visiting the Hope hospitals, creches, schools over there. Like immersing with the Indian children and just learning about Indian culture while we're over there.
Excellent.
So,
chance not to be missed, I'll tell you that much. Now, you are raising money, of course, so just give it a plug for the moment and we'll come back to it again at the end. But you will be giving away, well, you'll be raffling, should I say, you won't be giving them away at all, two All-Ireland tickets. Tell us more.
Yeah, so we're doing a raffle for 2 All-Ireland hurling final tickets. The draw's going to be on 29th of August on Stevie O'Donnell's show. Right. On Tipp MidWest, and it's €3 for one line or €5 for 2. Right. And that's it at the moment. Okay, so that draw will be taking place on Stevie O'Donnell's show. How can people buy lines? Who do they get in contact with? So they can buy it online at everydayhero.com. That I have an account on there, and it gives instructions on how to just fill out a form and donate your money. Right. Once you donate your money, I'll put you into the raffle, and you have a chance to win the tickets. Okay, very good. And of course, if people don't do that, can you just get in contact with Rockwell and they can? There's the cards are available. They're placed around Tiptown. Right. Oh, right. Okay. So in Tony Lowry's pub, Leahy's pub, O'Carroll's lawnmowers and everything, and. The Garda station, so there's a few in there. Right, very good. All right, so they're widely available around town. Pat Egan's on the line with us as well. Pat, good morning to you.
How are you doing, Joe?
Not too bad at all. Listen, Ciarán's here in the studio with me. He was giving us an idea about the Hope Foundation. Just expand on what he was saying for us a little bit in terms of what the Hope Foundation does. Yeah,
it's in existence about 15 years. It was founded by Maureen Forrest. As Ciarán said, there are 60 projects throughout Kolkata. And that would involve like schools, residential care, life skills, coaching, the Hope Hospital, rehabilitation centres, both physically and for people with addiction. And it targets the most vulnerable people probably on the face of the earth. So a little goes a long way.
Right, okay. And of course, for the students that are involved, such as Ciarán, it's going to be quite the experience.
It will, yeah. I mean, there's 2 parts to it, really. There is the phase that Ciarán is at the minute, where he's fundraising, and that's the really hard part, and that's where it can sometimes be difficult and get too much for some of them. But once they get past that and they raise their money, what they will have inadvertently developed is their entrepreneurial skills, and they will learn what they're good at, what they're not. They'll fail and they'll succeed, and they'll learn a hell of a lot from it. And I mean, that's the real benefit of the scheme, the immersion scheme for the students, because they develop a thick skin, and as I say, they develop all kinds of skills school can't really teach them.
Right, very good. And has Rockwell got a big history in this?
Yeah, this is our 9th year.
Our 9th.
And, yeah, this is our 9th year, and we've had, I think, at last count, over 80 students going across. And in total, when costs are deducted, their pure fundraising, that's over $250,000.
Oh.
And to put it in context, that would run the whole hospital in Kolkata. It wouldn't go very far in Clonmel, but it does a huge amount. And you just need to be on the ground to see how far it goes. I'll give you an example. When I was out there a year and a half ago, and we were on the streets one night. Now, the kids don't do this, but we were out on a night ambulance, and we spotted a young girl, and a very frightened young girl. And when she was eventually interviewed, she had a child with her, and the child, to my eyes, looked about 6 weeks. It turned out that the child was 8 months old.
Right.
And it was so badly malnourished, and because it was living under a bridge, as hard as it might be to believe, the child had rickets due to lack of sunlight and vitamin D, and the child was about to die. Now, €2 got that child into a hospital. I don't know the fate of the child since, but I would like to think that child may have been saved, or if not, adopted from the mother, right, and given a chance.
But €2 got that child into the hospital.
Oh, did you? Yeah, €2 got that child into a hospital, where we found out on the following night about the rickets, and that the child had been, was in hospital, and it finally got into the public system. But it would just as easily fall out of the system again. So I think the volunteers will keep an eye on that child now, and it may well end up at the Hope Hospital if it's lucky. But yeah, that €2 went a hell of a long way.
Right. It's just, I suppose, it brings home the differences between the two worlds, the world we live in here and the reality there.
Of course, I mean, when I went out the first time, I've only been there twice in 9 years, but the first time I went out, I had a child who was only a year old, and I contrasted that with a child that I was, again, on the night ambulance, and the child literally had nothing on it except a mosquito net, on the side of the street. And I just contrasted that with how precious we were with our own little fella, by comparison with what we saw there. And, you see all sorts of things. The Horror Station is an example, where you've got up to 30,000 people sleeping rough on a night and rats everywhere, So, yeah, a small bit goes a hell of a long way.
Okay, well, listen, back to Ciarán again. Now, he has a target of €3,000. Is that right, Pat?
Yeah, he has 2,400 to raise, which he will donate to Hope. And then he will have to, he'll pay for his flight and his accommodation. Mm-hmm. And what often happens there is that we would always encourage them to get presents. If there's a Christmas present going from an uncle, an aunt, or whatever, then that's what, it goes to pay for, say, Ciarán or many like him's flights. And we're very careful that there's a difference between, say, the fundraising and the costs.
Oh, right, yes, of course.
Because, accountability is everything.
Yep, it certainly is. Well, listen, Pat, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
And I'm going to go back to Ciarán in a minute, and we're going to talk about getting those funds together as well. But Pat, thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much.
Have a good day. Good luck. Bye-bye. That's Pat Egan there. Thanks to Pat for coming on the line with us. Ciarán, back to yourself, of course. Just to remind people how they can help you out with the fundraising. You've got the raffle for the pair of All-Ireland hurling final tickets. Which that raffle taking place on Stevie O'Donnell's show on August the 29th.
Yeah.
Right, and people can log on to everydayhero.com, yeah?
Yeah.
And then what do they look for after that?
They just, in the search bar, they just look up win 2 tickets.
Mm-hmm.
You can type in the whole thing, but it'll come up anyway. And just go on to my account will come up. You just click on that and fill out a form online, and your money will be donated straight to the Hope Foundation. Okay.
Otherwise, there are cards.
There are cards
town,
available in different places around Tipp. town.
Right. Where are you from yourself, Ciarán?
Clonfet, just outside the town.
Yeah, not too far away at all. Not too far from us at all. So, how are you finding the fundraising? Because Pat was saying there that that can be a challenge in itself.
Yeah. So far, I was selling the Hope Foundation chocolate bars up at the Rock of Cashel in Care Farmers Market here in Tipp Town in the shopping centre, and I got a good bit out of that. People seem to like the bars, but now I'm just trying to sell these lines at the moment for the raffle, because there's a limited amount of time before the final on the 4th of September.
Of course, there's nothing you can do about that. But and then after that, I suppose it's on to something else. So you're going to be busy.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Ciarán, we wish you the best of luck. Do come into us if you want a bit of publicity on anything else you're doing leading up to it. When's your deadline again? February, is it?
February, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Okay, so you've got a busy autumn and winter ahead of you. But listen, if there's anything we can do let us know as well. All right.
Thanks so much,
Okay. Well, thanks for coming in to us, and once you get over to India, enjoy that experience and relish it as well. Thanks for coming in.